Hi friends and family, welcome to You Plug.
Yeah.
Welcome to the plug that keeps you plugged in.
Yes.
Always exciting to be here Friday night 7 p.m. on your new channel of choice. And thank you for joining us. Please, if you haven't, please subscribe.
Yes.
Hey, yeah, Maria.
Hey, it's cold.
Please subscribe. Turn on your notifications so that each and every time we post that you are notified.
The
That
time
you
is
do not
frozen.
miss
The tongue is frozen.
so that you do not miss any episode that we put out. Big. And
Sure.
if you're wondering who this is and it's your first time here, I am Mac. I am the head and I'm not the tail. I am above and I'm not beneath. I'm a child of the Most High God, blessed and highly favored, a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a nation belonging to God, to declare the praises of Him who called me out of singleness into the beautiful world of marriage. And if
Yes.
you're looking for the same, this is the place to be.
Oh,
and
yeah.
my friend is helping me do that today.
Yeah, but that's a different intro compared to other days. Hi, friends and family. Welcome to You Plug. Welcome to the plug that keeps you plugged in. Thank you very much for tuning in, for joining in, for setting your time aside to engage our content. And as Meg said, if you happen to be here for the first time and you do not know who this guy is, nagi opa wagara malagana gamnar nom sudo wagata fas washadro gatagas gingigden gamazul gamla tuturusa gi goblo tabatur morum tulko wat twane buda gomu utara mutu. And it's always a vibe to be here, man. I'm always excited. Alongside what Meg has said about subscribing, it's winter now, so if you want to look good and you want to feel warm, please make sure that you hit us in our comments and you order one of these. We have different ones. We have one with just the logo here and one written like this. So please just let us know and we will plug you in and make sure that you are plugged. So yes, we are at it once more, Meg.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
We're in this. I mean, the last 2 weeks has been interesting. We were speaking we spoke about the tips to finding the one. Yes, we hope you are finding the one. We hope you are winning in finding.
If you're not finding the one, it means you're not watching You
Yeah,
Plug.
no, you need to watch it from. Episode what is now? Will be episode 20 something, but I mean in season 1 we have so many episodes there. I mean there's a lot of relationship content out there, authentic. Always us having these interesting conversations, relationship conversations. Some of those conversations cater to those who are married as well. Some of those for those who are looking. Some are for those who have settled.
Like some of us.
Yeah. You have settled. You are in.
So, yeah.
Yes.
There's no turning back.
No, there is no turning back. If you needed to turn back, that is before you say I do. After that, you have to deal with the consequences of your choice. Well, I mean the consequences and benefits, whatever. It is what it is. Yes, we're in, Mac.
In Spagat.
Yes, inside.
And unpacking mysteries.
Yes, relationship content.
Yeah.
Through and through. No other stuff. Just through and through. When you want relationship content, come to You Plug. When you want something else apart from this, go somewhere else. But
whether umzalwane, whether mokheteni, whatever. Here we are unpacking truth.
Yes.
Truth, and our biblical worldview gives us exactly that, and that is why it is for everyone who is looking for something genuine,
Yes.
who is looking for something that is true,
Yes.
who is looking for their one.
Yes, for their one. Yeah, and we are into that. Last 2 episodes we were unpacking tips on finding the one, and I think today we will be focusing specifically on one of those 6, which is put yourself out there.
Sure.
You should put yourself out there. Maybe we need to first check in some of the comments, Mac, because they feed into this conversation going forward.
And thank you also for commenting, guys. It's you guys are interesting there by the comment section. We heard from Hari Matebula says, I'm one of those who had a simple, boring routine. My life was work, home, and church. I'm married now, so I agree that sometimes putting yourself out there doesn't always mean you will find the one. Instead, you might attract the wrong crowd sometimes, and just keep that thought in mind. You might attract the wrong crowd sometimes. We want to explore that. And then there's Ritme Mulale who gave an interesting review, but I want to zoom into this one where she says it's more about self-development and preparation, not even about wanting to become a perfect spouse, but more about being a spouse that God calls you to be, because marriage is honoring God. And then this is the part I also believe in availing yourself and not to advertise yourself. Like, go to gospel music events or marriage seminars, they always accommodate for singles. And this is the part, and says, or just commenting on platforms.
Yes.
Like this. My future husband might see this and like this comment.
Yes.
Future husband, do the right thing.
Do the right thing. Avail yourself. Please do what is right.
And side note, she says, look presentable, please, while you're
especially with a U-plug hoodie. Get one. I mean, those are interesting comments, and they fit directly into what we want to speak about, or we want to talk about. I mean, I had time to even think about that more beyond the conversations we have, the conversation we have highlighted about putting yourself out there. Essentially, the notion behind this, it's, you know, put yourself out. If you want to find the one, put yourself out there. Go to sign into gym clubs or to book reading clubs or whatever. Just put yourself out there. Don't just be caught up in your daily routines or your normal routines. Just put yourself out there.
Okay.
And I think essentially we have my comment on that was that that's a challenging thing to do, especially if you are going somewhere expecting, like putting yourself out there, like when you dress up and say, maybe today I will find the one, maybe today. I think if that becomes a governing thought, you will eventually become tired. If you don't find if you don't find yourself, if you don't find the one, because, you know, I mean, essentially I said, just live your life.
Sure.
You know, just live your life. But also maybe to expand on that thought today, as the comments has already said, I think it's Mary who said her life was work, home, church, work, home, church.
In a boring routine.
And a boring routine, yes. I mean, essentially, we find ourselves in spaces that we think represents our values or what we value the most, you know. And for me, I would think that if you want someone, you would want someone who represents those spaces as well, unless if you are looking for something else. But if the places where you find yourselves are what is important to you, I think you may you will want to then find someone who represents those those
reasons why you find yourself in those
spaces. Yeah,
you don't have to go all out to be in those. It's just naturally.
Yeah, and you don't need to go all out to be yourself. You know, if this is me, this is what I do. I go to work, I go to church, I go to... essentially, when I'm looking for a partner, I want a partner who will essentially represent those spaces, you know. They don't have to be in the same routine as me, but, you know, they have to at least represent those spaces, whether it's 3, 5, or 7 spaces where, you know, it has already become a pattern for me. If I'm not at home, I'm at work. If I'm not at work, I'm doing shopping. If I'm not shopping, you know. Within those spaces, I don't know what's your view on that.
Yeah, I think it's just to bounce on what Marie said, that you will end up attracting even the wrong crowds,
yeah, sure.
because you are trying to find, and people are not just going about their business already settled. They're poachers.
Yeah,
people who are looking for an opportunity.
Yes.
If you just step, you know, into that space,
yeah, sure,
then it's over.
Yeah.
So it's if you're going out for desperation and hoping, out of desperation and hoping that you will find the one, you will find, but it may not be the one.
Yeah, sure.
And because you are there, because it says put yourself out there, by virtue of them approaching you, then it may seem like they are the one. So I think it's important to and Ritumet also mentioned that on personal development, like develop yourself for you. If you're gonna take other activities, do that because you are still finding you, or you want to get a sense
how
of
are you?
who
Yeah.
this person is. You know, I remember an era in my life when I used to like I didn't quite get myself yet.
Yeah.
But I liked the idea of being adventurous.
Oh yeah.
Because ladies like people who are guys who are adventurous,
Yes,
who are who what is this word, who are not stagnant, or who are not
narrow-minded.
Yeah, but I'm not getting this word. It's such a simple word.
Yeah.
But who just do things like out of the blue, who
Yeah.
are ready just to go out and stuff.
Yeah.
So
always ready for action.
Action, yeah. So I liked that idea, and I sold that idea out. Spontaneous, yes. I like that idea of being spontaneous, because I knew that it could attract people. Like, yeah, no, I don't want a guy who's rigid. Somebody who's spontaneous.
He must be, yeah.
And that's what I sold. But I saw when I'm in marriage that I'm not really as adventurous as I sold myself.
Yeah, sure.
You know, to be.
I hope Mangaliso didn't fall for that part of you. I hope she didn't fall for the part that is not authentic.
That's too late. She has to. We talked about consequences.
So she has to just deal with that person. Yeah.
So we might be putting ourselves in places because it can attract another crowd, and it can look appealing.
Yeah, sure.
But it may not necessarily represent our values
Yeah,
and
sure.
what we will like, because eventually when you're married, you're going to relax, and you won't see the need to go to gym because you found what you wanted.
Yeah, sure.
You won't see the need to go to reading clubs or doing book reviews
because you're no longer looking.
You're no longer looking.
And you have tapped into the spaces of someone who that trait becomes natural.
Yeah.
You know, so there's always a conflict of interest. I'm going to church. Why are you going to church every day? Can't you just skip some time? You do have to be there every day.
Yeah.
Can't you pray here at home? Or, I mean, why do you have to go out with friends all the time? Why do you have to do this? Why do you? But this is where these are the spaces you have tapped into to go and find this person.
Yeah.
You have recruited them from those from those places, which may be something they really love. So I think it should be it becomes a stretch for you to always want to, when you go somewhere, the first thing that comes to mind is a life partner. I think that will be that's a challenge, because you even miss the beauty of being in a place where you are, because you are not there for that. You are there to look for something. So like that person has said on the comment, that you need to just find yourself, be comfortable in yourself, set healthy boundaries, while you are living, not while you are waiting for anyone. Set healthy boundaries for yourself, so that if someone comes into your life, as I've said, if they represent those values, they will then even help you to become even a better person, who will help you to want to who will help you to achieve those values, or even in a better space, instead of you overstretching yourself every time, hoping that you will find. And I know that this may sound like I'm being hypocrite because I'm married, but really, and I'm not even the standard, I'm not trying to put myself out there as the standard, but generally for me, that was my life. It was a lot of church, like church all the times, every day, church, But within that space, I found someone. I don't know if they found me or we found each other. Within that space, and church is what we value. It's important to us, and it's not a conflict when I'm supposed to go to a conference or to men's gathering or whatever. I don't have to over-explain.
Sure.
It becomes an issue of what are other stuff that needs to be done, and stuff. If I need to attend that now, or if I can attend it later. But it's not a matter of having to over-explain that commitment, because
Sure.
it's part of us. It's part of my family life. Church is a very big part of my
Sure.
of my family life.
Sure.
So, and as I said, I'm not trying to put myself out there as a standard, but I'm saying even in my own personal experience, I found my wife doing what I believe God had called me to do.
Sure.
You know, and I hope that this will be true to many. You know, you don't have to overstretch and, you know, overcompromise. You know, bend some personal principles.
So you didn't have
to
to
accommodate.
you didn't have to put yourself out there.
No, I didn't have to,
Okay.
and I think also the challenge that we have to also embrace is the fact that, you know, mostly in our culture we're still in a space where, you know, a man finds, you know, where you just go and find a man. Mostly men don't have to put themselves out there, and I think that's the challenge we have to embrace with our sisters who feel they are ready to make this you know, this commitment, but, you know, our relationship landscapes says a man needs to pursue me.
Sure.
You know, so dealing with that, we have to embrace that reality as well, because I didn't really have to deal with that as a main person.
I'll ask
You know,
Jess.
yeah.
It's fine. If she had to
Yeah.
put herself out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, maybe you must ask her. but I mean,
Yeah.
and it happened like
Yeah.
that. So I'm advocating for people living their lives and empowering themselves, being a better version of you. There's more to accomplish and mission to be fulfilled apart from relationships as well. So if I was to restate this, what we have said last week, the thing, I would say, don't put yourself out there.
Sure.
Don't just do you, live your life. Focus on improving yourself. That will help you to set healthy boundaries. If someone step into those boundaries and they disrespect, they show up like they don't want to commit and stuff like that, you are able to call them out and say, hey, no, I'm not having that, you know, because you are not desperate for their presence in your life, because there's no empty space in your life that you are hoping that they will come and fill, because that's a problem. If you go around with empty space, you know, it's easy to be filled by stuff, especially when you show up desperate. You can show up healthy and say, no, dude, I'm not having that. Or lady, if you are used to hopping and not committing from wherever you come from, I'm not having that here. You know,
Speak.
yeah.
You know, even the Bible says that as the deer pants for the water, so my soul longs for you. Soul should long for God.
Yes, long for your
Songs
creator.
For your creator.
Yeah, long for God, you know. Because, man, you know, the problem with that also, I think for me, the level of desperation that this ideology can lead into, where, you know, you have to be adventurous, go there, go. If you want to do that, do it because you are curious and you want to try that, not because you are going there to look for someone. You know, because today you might tell us, today's the day I'm going out, today's the day. And that on the other side, you find the vulture waiting also saying, today's the day. Waiting on the other side and say, today's the day, you know. And then, you know, ends in tears, you know. So I'm saying, do you live your life? Don't wait for anyone. If you feel there's a space, you are lonely, you need someone, I think that's a sign of some emotional work that you need to do, because essentially we need to show up being healthy, you know. Because if we show up with an empty space, hoping that this person will fill this space, they will abuse you in the name of filling that space, you know, and you will be able to tolerate stuff because this person completes me, you know, and that's the, you know, when you are so much in love, those are the words you say, you complete me. No, you can't walk around incomplete. You have to find, you know, fill that void. If someone comes, then praise the Lord, then you are able to not engage them from a point of being vulnerable. You are able to say, you know, I'm ready to give this a chance, or give this a try. You know, don't just put unnecessary walls as well.
Sure.
You know, just putting walls to keep people out.
Sure.
You know, just saying, okay, if you know, let's see where this will lead. This person seems to be a right person. They seem to be kind, and just explore them, but not from a space of vulnerability and lack, but from a space of abundance. You know, where when I feel like you know, this is toxic, these are toxic traits,
Sure.
I can easily call you out and say, I know, back off. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking now of a friend who reached out to us saying that they want to talk on celibacy and eunuchs. So I'm interested in this one of eunuchs, the ones who are not called to who will not get married.
Yeah, sure.
Who will yeah, but I don't want to speak much on that yet.
Yeah,
but,
sure. I think that will
because this one will be speaking to those who I mean this one accommodates those who are looking for relationships that will eventually result in marriage.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't really accommodate those who are not going to
get married.
to get married. So I'm interested in this topic and how it will play out.
I think that would be an interesting topic to have, but I think also part of the reason I'm advocating for being complete before you invite someone in your space, so that you don't feel like you are desperate. It's if marriage is not in your path, because all of these things we can desire, but ultimately God knows what is good for us, even if what is good for us may not seem to be not good for us.
Sure.
God knows what is good for us. So when we pursue our God-given purpose from a point of completeness, we don't feel like we are lacking anything, and then we don't become desperate and begin to bend some rules and stuff. Because the reality of the matter, as we have spoken, not everyone will get married, and I think that's a hard pill to swallow. I think that's especially to a person who desires to be married. Yeah, maybe then that's where it points to, let our first desire be God Himself, who have created us and who knows what is good for us, and let all other stuff be secondary to that. But then again, I may be accused of speaking from a point of privilege, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Maybe some have stopped the video already now. Cut. That's my calling.
Yeah, I mean, I just wish that whoever that is called to a particular direction will embrace that fully, you know, and find the necessary support from people who have walked down that path as well, to journey along, to understand that kind of journey, be it from being the path of marriage or the path of not being married.
Sure.
And those kind of stuff. Find someone to walk alongside us to help us navigate those territories.
And even just to qualify what you're saying, or someone might think, by saying that they need support, it means like something is wrong, something is why do they need support? But the reality is that our culture and our society does not feed into that narrative.
Yeah, sure.
Everyone has to get married.
Yeah,
if
sure.
you're not getting married, then there's a problem.
There's something wrong
And
with you.
that's where support then is needed, because you are basically going against the grind. You're going against the narrative.
Yeah, sure.
And it's not easy to navigate it alone.
Yeah, sure.
It's not even a healthy space to be in. So you are not getting support because you are lacking, but it's just going against what culture is dictating.
Yeah, sure.
Because you see it on Facebook, you on Instagram, on
Couple
Twitter,
goals
couple
and
goals,
all of those things.
yeah. So as much as we may not be called to it, but we may desire for it
that,
because of what we're exposed to,
sure.
and also because of how we feel.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Basically, we. I mean, this is a very. I'm looking forward to a day where we will really unpack that aspect of, the reality of not everyone will get married. I think also, I mean, it's a very even complex one. I mean, when some people desire to have family, and you may end up getting married, but you may not be able to conceive children. The challenges keep on going up and up and up. It's these things are not so much obvious. They're not obvious.
Sure.
Though I think then we need to hold on to what is true and what is obvious. God Himself, we need to hold on to that as we navigate the unknown, the uncertain, and all of and all of those stuff. So going back to our point, don't put yourself out there. Do you live your life? Seek to please God, improve yourself, be it academically, emotionally, socially, whatever. But don't wait for no one.
And going back to the comment, Ritumeti is speaking, guys.
Yes, respond, please.
Please
You need to.
If this is not a paid ad, but I can speak for her.
No.
She let me not say much.
You seem to know who's this person, and I don't even know.
But what I can say,
it's a package.
She's a loving Christian. She serves God in the music industry.
Oh, yes. Okay, no.
And you know people in the music industry. Ask me.
No, I don't know nothing. You can't say I know. I don't know anything. I didn't marry none. My wife is also, she has Facebook, but she's not active. And this reminds me of what you have just been saying, Mac. I'm out there. I love making content. My wife is the exact opposite. I was hoping that we'll do this couple goals videos and stuff, and we'll talk to. My wife is not having that, man. Cut. I can watch, but I don't want to be there. I can engage when I'm asked, but I don't. Anyway, it is what it is. Guys, answer the lady there. Do what is right if the Lord is pointing you. Thank you very much, friends and family, for tuning in, for joining us, for joining our conversation. Invite many others. Sure. Let's rally around these conversations, and as we navigate the truth, as we navigate what healthy relationships. So we hope that this conversation was an add-on to where you find yourself, and if it was, please show that by liking, by sharing, so that many other people will be exposed to a content like this.
For sure. From the two of us,
remain plugged. Ciao.